Yeah, happy birthday to me. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Fido Live number 102, which happens to be occurring on my birthday. And I'm alone for my birthday. All right, let's see. Here is the start of the new week. Let's get in here and do a little bit of erasing, and then we'll read it all to you. All right, we have Felicia and Fido. Felicia says, "As the cat of the house, it is my duty to rule over you, and I assure you it's a full-time job. Do you really think I enjoy it?" "Yep. I could be sleeping now, you know." Well, oops, that's going to require a lot of erasing. Hate it when the eraser gets dirty, because then you have to go to the eraser with an eraser to erase the eraser. Alright, put this aside. Here is the Tuesday. And we'll have a celebratory birthday latte. Thank you. But of course, yes. Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate it, yes. All right, here is the Tuesday. We have Dino and Fido. And Fido says, "I'll give you $10 for that." "Sure," this hamburger. "What's this?" "That's the Fido dollar." "Well, how much is this worth?" The current exchange, this is Felicia, the current exchange rate is 1 Fido dollar to 5 Felicia pesos. Do you have your part of this month's rent? "Sure, how much is that in Felicia pesos?" Been watching a lot of stuff about the fiat currency on YouTube lately. All right, here is Thursday. Yeah, still needs a lot of erasing. Do it later. We have Bo in his bathrobe, looking all very tired. Fido barking out the window. "What are you barking for?" "I've got to step up my game as the dog around here. A cat has moved in to replace me. I have to do all the important dog things around here to prove my value." He's digging through the trash. "I guess that explains my chewed up shoe. Let's see a cat do that kind of quality work." Okay. And, let's go back. This is Wednesday. Fido and Bo's in bed. "I'm worried. You let a cat move in here. Is she my replacement?" "How could we ever replace you with a cat?" "Yeah, you're right. I'm just being silly." "Woof, woof. There's more to it than that." She's playing on his. He's living rent-free in his mind. All right. This is something for next week. Don't hit the camera. This is the Friday and Saturday, and I've already scripted out the next week, which may or may not talk about today. All right. What do you think? Time for a bit more birthday coffee? Sure. Happy birthday to me. Sing it, everybody. Like you mean it. Yes, yes. All right, here is the Friday. We'll be inking this one today. Remember I always say never draw your characters that small? Yeah. Okay, it's Fido, Dino, Bo, Felicia. Fido says, a dog is better. Felicia says, a cat is better. Will you two stop fighting? I come here to relax. And Dino says, besides, you both are horrible pets. And while they're beating up on Dino over here, Cat Boss comes up to clean up some of the mess as Felicia's kicked over everything. I have a goldfish. They're delicious. Okay, we'll be inking that one today. And here is the Saturday. Felicia finally has a come to God moment. She asks Bo, am I a good cat? Let's see. You sleep all day, refuse to eat your food, push things off tables, and are uncaring and indifferent. So I can say that you're a typical cat. Well, I don't care what you think. Typical? Like how she's eating part of the plant as she's asking him if she's a good cat. Yeah. Well, let's get a glove going here. As everyone knows, cartoonists are the dirtiest, filthiest creatures on the face of the planet. I'm going to do any work here, I've got to put on this, a glove, to keep my filth off this relatively clean paper. And because I'm likely also to smudge the pencil marks, I need to put down a piece of paper. This is not an excuse at all to do a bid. So, Bill Belichick has a new girlfriend. This is Bill Belichick with Jordan Hudson, 25-year-old former cheerleader. People, at least in this area, may remember Bill Belichick's 16-year relationship with Linda Holiday, age 61. Bill is 72. If these two kids can't make it work, well, maybe these two kids can. The only victim of this tragedy would be Nike. They're an Alaskan doggy dog, who both Linda and Bill shared for those 16 years that they were together. So it's the dogs that suffer. Always. So hey, the joke with this one is, I'm sure he makes her laugh. Now, anyone who's seen a Bill Belichick press conference right now is laughing at that joke. So our perennial whipping boy, of course, is the Disney Corporation. And I'm going to actually skip through the first thing to get to Glenn Beck. Because Glenn Beck, who doesn't know how to do YouTube, this is a shot of Glenn Beck's YouTube set. Let's see. Well, we'll go over it later. But he had Gary Beegler on from Nerdrotic, and he asked Gary, what's wrong with Disney? Why are they making such mistakes? And they have a brain drain, audience loss, and Disney Plus. That's what's wrong with Disney. I'm trying to tell you people this for how long? Wake up, Glenn. Hello. Look, Glenn's got not one but two couches. He's got some sort of mountain lion stuffed here. A tiny American flag. A dog, Coca-Cola. For some reason, sport is on his back wall in neon. No effing idea. But right there's Mickey Mouse. Next to a thermos, which I guess in the middle of the broadcast he needs to urinate. There's a thermos there. And I think that's gold bar and a silver coin. Because Glenn was big into the gold bar things. And is that a cigar? Ooh, I didn't know you smoked, Glenn. I used to listen to Glenn. My wife would call it slit your wrist radio. Around the time when Obama was first elected. And Glenn was talking about like the Weimar Republic, how we'll need like wheelbarrows full of money and the economy is going to go to hell and this and that. And nothing of the sort ever happened. And, I was a much happier person when I stopped listening to Glenn Beck. All right, so the reason why we're talking about Disney is the Gina Carano lawsuit continues. You see, California passed a law to help the communists, saying you can't get fired for your beliefs. And then it's helping Gina Carano. So thus the lawsuit continues. But the big entertaining story is Michael Giordano. He's a senior vice president and team lead from 20th Television and the Walt Disney Company. He came in from the Fox buy. Obviously, Disney would never hire a white guy, according to him. Yes, yes. This is D-Bag Mike on a date, and in order to impress his date, he's telling her all of the inside gossip, all the inside dirt on Disney to try to make himself look better. And he's saying Disney will not hire nor promote white people anymore. And in fact, they didn't hire a black guy because he wasn't black enough. Okay. That's where we need t-shirts, not black enough for Disney. Think quarterback Black Garrett's getting on that from Nerdrotic. So James O'Keefe, the guy who set this hidden camera thing up, he's formerly from Veritas, and until he pissed off Pfizer, and they got him fired. Now he's working for himself, and he can piss off whomever he wants. Disney doesn't have the power to fire him. What they're going to do, however, Michael here is on leave. They're going to call Michael the racist. Michael will get in trouble, not Disney. Disney's hiring practices are just fine, but Michael is the racist who says, "Oh, you won't. If you're white, you'll never succeed." Yeah, yep. Michael will be the fall guy there, and if there's a prison sentence, it goes to Michael. So, odious actresses related to Disney are legend. We will remember Rachel Ziegler, and we remember Brie Larson. But now we have Amanda Steinberg from the Acolyte. She's down with the hood now, I guess. Even though her father was Dutch. Let's say this half Greenland Dutch millionaire is down with the cause. Yes. She even has the afro to prove it. Only black girl I ever saw who can't dance. So it took her 72 hours on her laptop to make a song to tell us that she doesn't care about what we think. Okay, Amanda, joining the ranks of Brie Larson and Rachel Ziegler as hated Disney actresses from the Acolyte. Let's put Amanda up front here so that when we continue, at least it'll make sense, because on Amanda's TV show this week, we got to see the Wookiee Jedi, and this is a terrible photo, so I'll have to get in here with a pencil and show you that. See that? That's a burning fur slash. The Wookiee's been killed by a lightsaber slash, and it may be the first actual Disney lightsaber death. We had hoped, at least in this show, we'd get to see the Wookiee do a lightsaber battle, but actually, according to one of the executives, was the budget couldn't afford showing the fight. They only had $200 million plus. We couldn't afford it. And everyone's pretending they know who Ki Adi Mundi is, but he's the guy who in episode 1 said, "Impossible! The Sith have been extinct for a millennia." Well, the Acolytes filmed 100 years before episode 1, and he looks the same. And all the nerds are really upset with the Wikipedia, because the day after this aired, the Wikipedia guy went in there immediately and changed. He was born there. It's a long-lived alien race. Yeah. Which, of course, has gotten our friend Star Wars Theory in trouble. The YouTuber Star Wars Theory is threatening a lawsuit against Wikipedia after the online Star Wars encyclopedia accused him and his followers of sending them death threats. For Wikipedia, Ash Renda accused Star Wars Theory of sending his followers to issue death threats in a now deleted post. She wrote on X, "Hey, Star Wars Theory! Exclamation point. These are your people sending death threats! Exclamation point. Time to rein them in. Condemn what they are doing. Time to put your money where your mouth is and back up your be respectful spiel that you always say." And then she added, "And don't use your I don't control my community excuse." Well, our friend Star Wars Theory responded, politely, F yourself. These aren't my people. Don't attach that to me or there will be serious consequences for you. He's actually going to sue her. That's a good idea. These people are on their own. Nothing to do with me. Please find where I have instructed people to send death threats to anyone. Quite the opposite. In fact, 8 years I've taken death threats and R threats to my past partners, poison threats to my mailbox, threats to my parents and animals, daily, non-stop, for liking episode 9. Then, when I changed my mind, where the F was anyone then? Where the F were you when I was being laughed at for crying to Luke Skywalker? You joined in fact, alongside Pablo and LFL, taking jabs at me publicly. Lucasfilm Limited. That's how it was handled. And I just have to take it, because that's what I do. He continued. Bullied as a kid for liking Star Wars, and then again, as an adult, I've taken so much abuse from you psychotic people that I've finally had enough. F yourself and deal with shit on your own like I had to. Stop blaming me and other people's actions, you moron. I think Star Wars Theory guy was like the last person I knew who cared about Star Wars. I'm sure the hate, the apathy is strong with this one now. So I think we're gonna use Glenn Beck for a little while longer. Where are you, Glenn? Come on back to us. I haven't seen Glenn in such a long time. It reminds me of the days when, well, I actually listened to radio. I was a carpenter, and all day long we would have a radio running. And it came to a particular point where we lost Howard Stern, we lost Don Imus. I'd say Don Imus first, then we had Howard Stern. But there was nothing left on the radio. So we had Slice Your Wrist Radio with Glenn Beck. Alright, let's pick out a brush. You know, I think, just from reputation's sake, I'm going to take one of these down here. What do you think? That looks like a pretty point, doesn't it? So we're going to need a pretty fine point to do all this small work. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, Irving on camera 1. Could you zoom in to about right around here? Thank you, Irving. That's great work. All right. We're still with our Speedball Super Black ink. Wait a minute. Let's hold that to show the bottle. Glenn Beck and Slice Your Wrist Radio. He was barely entertaining. But after you've gone through Don Imus with all his racist crap, and then Howard Stern with all his immature fart humor and such, Glenn Beck was a bit different. He was more along the lines of Rush Limbaugh. You always sort of had the feeling that Glenn wasn't quite all there. He was probably broadcasting from a bunker underground with all guns on the walls. I'm surprised there's no guns here. And it's the cigar over here that shocks me the most. Well, Glenn was talking about hoarding gold and silver for the coming collapse of the economy, and camping gear and guns, and doing everything you can to survive with your family after Western civilization collapses. Yeah, Glenn was big on the collapse of Western civilization. That, well, never happened, on his timetable at least. This was eminent, according to Glenn, back when I was listening to him. So, Glenn finally figured out that there's a YouTube. And that's where I got this particular shot of him, and only because a guy I listen to, Gary Beagle from Nerdrotic, happened to be on his show. I guess the YouTube algorithm figured, well, you like Gary. Gary was on this show. Here's a Glenn Beck episode. Now I'm wondering if, since I watched this, if the YouTube algorithm is going to start giving me Glenn Beck stuff. 'Cause I didn't even know Glenn was on YouTube. I just remember him from the radio days. And vaguely, he tried. I stopped listening just around the time when Glenn started his own network. A lot of the radio talk show people were doing that at the time. Howie Carr here in Boston did it. It was just them producing their own show and taking all the money from advertising rather than having the radio station do it. It's just a slightly better financial deal for them. And Howard had gone off to satellite radio at the time, and he just cashed out and had to continue to do that Gong show on TV just to keep his face in the media. But yeah, Howard Stern just disappeared. I hear now he's living in a house, a cat-infested house, with his girlfriend. Aye, Howard, a fate worse than death. Howard's become a crazy cat lady. So never draw your characters this small. And look, I already have ink on my finger. One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what else we can see in Glenn Beck. I'm guessing he must be living in the Southwest because of the pattern on the rug. Let's see. Do I remember? Oh, look, he's got plastic covering the windows for some reason. It's certainly not for soundproofing. Yeah, I'm hoping the sound is a little bit better here today because I've got the soundproofing up. I've been neglecting putting up the soundproofing past half dozen shows. So yes, it's my birthday, and I spent the entire day inside doing mostly nothing. I guess preparing for the show. Any day when I can enjoy the great indoors, particularly when it's almost 100 degrees outside, I like. And I needed a day off. The chief colorist is still in the hospital rehab trying to learn how to walk. I'm probably in trouble because I did not answer the phone all day. There were like 9 different text messages from family members and responded to none of them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I figured if any of them really cared, well, they could watch this show and know that I'm still around. That's not going to happen, though, is it? I used to worry and censor myself, saying, well, no, I don't want to say that because if my mother hears it or my sister hears it or my aunt hears it, I might be embarrassed. But it's no chance in hell any of them are ever going to watch this, so I do not have to fear censoring myself. The Spiffing Brit on YouTube has his whole routine is that he breaks games. He learns how to cheat on a game, fix a game, finds any exploit in a game to beat it. And the game that he's currently trying to exploit is YouTube. And what he's looking for is the sleepwatcher, someone who will put YouTube on and fall asleep and leave it on all night long. So if he has like an incredibly long video, 1, 2, 4, 6 hours, it would play all night long and he would get the credit for it. And he's learned that like a 6 to 8 hour video makes him a lot more money than a highly produced 20-minute video. So I'm following in the ideas of the Spiffing Brit, and we're going to try to run this one for 8 hours tonight. What do you think? We'll go through long moments of liminal noise so that everyone can settle down, go to sleep to the sound of a cartoonist's voice all night long. And I should deepen my voice and make it a bit more sexy. So everyone drift off to sleep while I draw my comic strip. And hope I don't spill coffee on it. It's a completely different drink when you foam up the milk like that. I highly recommend a milk foamer for everyone who drinks coffee. It's just a pain in the butt to clean out, so I don't use it all the time. We probably should continue quietly in the background and to enjoy our happy birthday song. Sounds like this was recorded in a bar. Bunch of drunks singing happy birthday. Or as they would say in Boston, in a bar. Hey, it's a jazzy birthday. Oh, attention YouTube. These are all royalty-free songs, according to your own words. The original Happy Birthday song was "Good Morning to You," and you had to pay the writers whenever they used it on TV. Not anymore. You like the special effect I do with the glass there? Just to show Dino's shirt through it. That's a funky birthday. I so seldom ever listen to music. But I do usually have the television on playing YouTube in the background. And I wonder if I can get away with that. Samba. Used to have one of those little Casio keyboard things, and you could hit a button for background beats, and Samba would be one of the buttons that Casio would give you. You just have this drum beat in the background. You know, I can't imagine anyone sleeping to this. I think I've taken the Spiffing Brits' great idea and ruined it. Now, let's do the special effect of Dino's t-shirt as seen through the empty glass. I like to leave a slight white line that shows the rim of the glass, the thickness of the glass. Yeehaw. One, two, three, four, five, six. I got forgotten to do whiskers on Felicia. Oh, there's all our birthday music for today. Thank God there's no copyright on any of that, huh? Oh.
Domino's order carry out online or by phone and get any one topping pizza.
No, no commercials. Can't believe you almost had a Domino's pizza commercial in the midway through this. Well, this says no copyright. Wait a minute, I think I recognize this song. This is Fido's American West. And it's Disney background music. Stop. Thank you. Don't want to play too much of that. Will remind us of back in the days when Disney didn't make terrible stuff. Oh, congratulations on Inside Out. Looks like you guys might make your money back. It's great when you don't have any competition and a bunch of people who need to take their kids out to films. I don't know why anyone would trust their kids with Disney, but hey. That's not my problem. Alright, let's see. Can we get to the last panel? Yeah, there we go. See, I forgot to do the whiskers on Felicia and these other ones, but it's still too wet for me to go back. How we doing on the recording? Seems I always check at the 42-minute mark. So it was interesting seeing Glenn Beck is still on the air. I don't think he's on the radio anymore around here. I could be wrong. My life is much different than what it was back when I listened to all that talk radio. I think I'm much happier these days. Back then I cared about a lot of things. But that's been beaten out of me. Hey, let's put a shadow here under Fido's arm. Yeah, that's good. So you can see the slight perspective. Oh, this leg here is, this foot here is higher than this foot. Because it's the special effect I'm using to provide a perspective. And this over here is Fido's Pepsi bottle. I almost said the word soda. Never used that word in my life, and suddenly I got married and that's the word I'm using. I think also up here they say tonic as well as a soda. Another word I never used. Alright, if we do Felicia's whiskers here, these three whiskers are going to be going right across Dino's face. Let's get Dino in underneath there. And that's Dino's little stud of an earring. Little porn stash. So I had some extra time yesterday and today, and I think I've got all of next week's comic strip written, which is good. I like to have it done by Tuesday, so I'm a couple of days ahead. Let's get the ink back in here. Went a long way without putting ink on that brush. Alright, and here's another case. See how Felicia's arm is going across her body? Let's do a little double darkness under there. It makes it pop a little bit better. I always like to do a slightly darker line, thicker line on the bottom side of things that like overlap shelf to give that visual information that that's what it's doing. So those of you at home who are drawing your comic strip along with us, please be sure to always make a darker line on overlapping items so that they pop. Now, see how the foot is behind? You might ask, why don't you have a shadow line on the foot here, like I would over here with Felicia? It's because they're not really overlapping like the arm is. You know the arm is close to the body, but there's some distance between these 2 feet, at least that far. And that wouldn't make me happy. And the reason why we are here is to make me happy. Why'd I spend the entire birthday alone? To make me happy. Guess that my soul, I'm a loner. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is my coffee getting cold? Sure does look it, doesn't it? Let's bulge up Bo's eyes a little bit more here. Let's see, she's kicked over this glass, he's kicked over that bottle, and on her way across, she's kicked over, this is Bo's glass right here. And that thing is spilling out over the bar. This is the napkin that the glass was sitting on. And the cat boss is already here to pick up the bowl of whatever that is Felicia has for a drink. A bowl of cream. Or maybe it's a scorpion bowl. That's a scorpion bowl is a rum drink. Yeah, I probably should have laid in a supply of rum drinks for my birthday. Now, shouldn't I have? No, I didn't. I knew I'd have to do this show, and I've got to draw this comic strip, and, well, cartoonists don't allow cartoonists to draw drunk. That's my own decision. My mother-in-law did in fact pass away last Wednesday or so. And it's going to be a small family thing when the wife recovers enough to attend. So we've had music in this show 2 weeks in a row. It's not going to be a habit, don't worry. I really don't like music. I may, though, play YouTube, have like a Mahler going on in the background about something for 2-3 hours while I draw. And as long as I'm making comments, doing a commentary on Mahler's work, I think that those fit the rules. So many people just play other people's content and just sit there and comment on it. I guess that's fair use. Alright, there is the Friday. Let's put that up on the magnets here to dry. And we have the Saturday. Come with us, Mr. Cartman. The secret to Disney success is to, of course, put a chick in it and make her lame and gay. Impossible. The Sith have been extinct for a millennia. Except, of course, that small group of witches that, with the Acolyte TV show, they've got these these Sith witches used the Force to create these two twin girls, a la Anakin Skywalker, I suppose. But they don't look anything like their mothers. There was a joke online, you need to call Darth Maury Povich to find out who the daddy is, who the parents are. Alright, again we have the arm here going over the body. I'm going to make that line a little bit darker so that just it pops. What do you think? Does that pop? Let me hit that right. Oh, almost. Yeah, right there. Yeah, you like how she's sitting here just casually munching on the leaf. Cats are known to eat your houseplants. And the cute innocence of the whole thing is that while she's doing something like this, she's asking if she's a good cat. The theory of humor here on the Fido the comic strip is something is funny when seen from someone else's point of view. Now it looks like I picked the right brush. This one seems to be doing okay. And the moment I say that, it doesn't do well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's got to be some sort of code. 8, 7, 8. And then 3 6s over here. Alright, let's check on YouTube. Yep, we're still going. Did I say YouTube? I meant QuickTime. This is no longer a live stream, simply because I didn't like the streaming software and the deals you had to make to use it. I just recorded on QuickTime. That way I own the video. There's no problem. Alright, we're gonna black out Bo's t-shirt here just so it gives us some heavy thing on the frame. Makes it look better. Plus it's less work for the chief colorist when she comes back. But I was able to spend my birthday alone and no one gave me any trouble about it. So I thank everyone in the world for leaving me the fuck alone. If I continue working all night long, I actually might get a good jump start on next week. Before this whole problem with the chief colorist happened, we were going close to 2 weeks ahead. Now I'm barely the week. Alright, oops. We forgot to do Felicia's whiskers again. Oh well, can't go back now. With all that black here, it's highly smudgeable. So Felicia has 3 whiskers on the left and 4 whiskers on the right. Why? Because she had a rough kittenhood. So as far as layout went here, what I did is I knew I wanted Bo's head about there. and then I put the perspective line up around Bo's eyes, so that when you see this perspective, you can, well, we're looking at it from his point of view, so the cat's down lower, and that's just at the height where the cat is. So you put the perspective where you want to put the audience, and I like to put the point of view of the audience, the perspective line on who's ever talking. Probably doesn't make much of a difference. It's, visual storytelling, but it makes me happy. And why are we here? That's right, to make me happy. So everyone at home, when creating your own comic strip, I highly recommend that if you're going to use perspective, make the vanishing point to the point of view of the speaker in the panel, unless a story can be told doing it differently. You might want to do a higher, looking up if someone's going to be heroic, or looking down on someone to either establish a scene or to undermine them. I use this background here in the bar every week so often that I probably should just trace it, but I draw it fresh every time to whatever perspective I choose to begin with. And this one, the perspective happens to be at Bo's eyesight line. Even though he's not speaking in this panel, it's still from his point of view, because he's listening to this and he's eventually going to tell him, well, you two stop fighting. And these are just static, the last three panels, static backgrounds. Well, I probably should just, you might notice that the stained glass in the background is never perfect, because I just eyeball it and draw whatever feels right each time. If I came up with a style, a drawing, a standard drawing, and just traced it every time, it'd probably save me a lot of work and make everything a lot more uniform. I just don't have a light box here in the studio. I don't do it that way. Originally, the lettering was all traced. I just printed out Comic Sans NS on a regular Word document, and gave me all perfect centering and perfect lettering. And now everything's done in the new Fido font, which, as you know, is tilted 21.5 degrees to the right. But yeah, I used to do a lot more tracing of my stuff, just to save the labor. And I noticed that, like, a lot of the original drawings had a lot more spirit, a lot more energy to them. And when I traced them over and over again, they just lost all that spirit, all that energy, and they was just, wasn't that good a comic strip. And now each panel is individually drawn. I'm hoping it brings a little bit more life, at least, to the comic strip, and at least there's a lot more movement. I don't have to do any of this, but, well, again, it makes me happy. Like, why do anything if it doesn't make you happy? I'm a pretty simple guy. I just want to draw a comic strip. This is the greatest thing in the world. Sitting in a chair on an angled board. This is the famous cherry wood drawing board. Also, you might notice that the brushes sort of have a red cherry wood finish. Oh, actually, you can't see the board, can you? See, it's a cherry wood, and the brushes are also cherry wood. Made with the finest Himalayan tree squirrel pubic hair, of course. But yeah, this is the greatest thing in the world, being able to sit behind a drafting board and just draw all day long. It sure does beat roofing. Every Christmas we had a roof to do as well. We never lost money on roofs. Usually around here in Boston, the winter doesn't start settling until January anyway. Just in early December, you can get a lot of work done outside. Okay, let's put the whiskers sort of down. As she's not really happy with the news that she's a typical cat. She thinks she's special. And no need for Felicia's tail in this scene either. But I guess the tail would probably have just flopped on the floor. Yeah, this is the greatest job in the world. I've always said that if everyone drew a comic strip, well, you know, we'd all die starving and freezing in a little apartment, no electricity. Civilization would end. One, two, three, four, five, six. So I don't want anyone out there to think that this is a suitable career for you. I assure you it isn't. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to deliver the Boston Globe and get up at 5:30 in the morning, so that I can get back home by 7, so I could get out to school. And I always used to read the comics. I guess that's what made me decide this is what I wanted to do. But then again, I also read Mike Barnacle, and I thought I wanted to be a columnist as well. And then Mike really burnt his career, and burnt me too. Mike had a little bit of problem with plagiarism. So I briefly thought of playing Amanda Steinberg's twerking video. I have the tablet over here for that purpose, but I hear she's being pretty vicious with the copyright strikes on anyone who plays it, and it's really not worth playing. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I understand. You just you don't even have to make jokes about it. You just sort of play it, and it's guaranteed material. But you can watch that yourself. I just want to draw a comic strip. Alright, here we go, the last panel. We've got a little bit more work done today than we have in the past few episodes. Probably shouldn't be talking as much so that you folks out there can get a good night's sleep. Remember, leave Fido on autoplay all night long if you care about this comic strip. I'm thinking if you leave it on all night long, you're not skipping the commercials. So they think, oh, they watched the whole commercial. If you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe to C Crocy III here on YouTube. I had the channel before I was doing the comic strip. Otherwise, this channel Fido would be called Fido or Fido the Comic Strip or whatever. I actually think the word Fido was taken by a pet store somewhere else. Alright, we're going to do this thing with the arm again. Yeah, I forgot to do it on this one. You do a little double shadow under this arm. And now with the arms crossed like this, I'm only going to do the double shadow under the inside arm. And then again, that top arm. That makes sense to me. Okay, when the cat's angry, his tail does that sort of zigzaggy thing. So we're only less than 200 subscribers away from monetizing this channel. Again, I'm not here to be a YouTuber. I'm a cartoonist. I'm here to draw a comic strip. And I happen to do it on YouTube. I also do it on Rumble. And it appears on Instagram and Twitter, now known as X. Patreon. Buy me a coffee. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I don't know where else. A bunch of other places. Oh, let's not forget, it also appears at FidoTheComicStrip.com. My own website. It used to be run by the chief colorist, and now is very poorly being run by me. Again, it's not something I like doing, so, well, I don't do it very well. What do you think when we finish this panel? You guys want to go to one of the sketchbooks and see what the writing's looking like? Yeah, probably could do that. Oops. Let's just get this shirt blacked out. What you want with your ink is to make it as flat and opaque as possible. You don't want to see the paintbrush marks. That really only becomes a problem when you're doing big surfaces like this. Alright, let's finish out Bo's pants and we are done with this one. I always do that little bit of a jiggle there at the knee just to show the fabric bunching up whenever he's pulling his legs back. And that's the end of Bo. Alright, always remember to put the ink back onto your bottle. Everyone at home drawing their comic strips along with us. Another reason to hate the Another reason to hate the Speedball plastic bottle is it gets all gunky around the threads, and the cover just doesn't want to go on right. Yeah, that's a shitty bottle you got there, Speedball. I'd give you a D minus with a plastic bottle. But the ink is pretty good. I've got to transfer that into a better bottle. I'm going to get the big pint size. Alright, let's put this up. Well, let's first have Irving camera 1 zoom out a bit. Yeah, that's good. Because we're going to want to see what we title this. I guess we'll title this the birthday episode, huh? Why not? Yep, June 22nd is my birthday. Alright, let's get the sketchbook out here. I call it a sketchbook, but it's really just my writing book. And we can turn to what we're writing this week. You might recognize that from, let's get this out of the way. See how much of that can you see? Yeah, that's the original idea for this one. I have a goldfish. They're delicious. I have goldfish. I'm doing a singular. I have a goldfish. He's delicious. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but I have goldfish, plural. They're delicious. That's about the only change that I made. Here you go. Okay, I guess this is Fido and probably Bo. Fido says, I feel really bad about it. Okay, then maybe you won't do it again? No, you don't understand. I feel bad, but I'll get over it. Yes, I'll do it again. Up here, we have Fido and Felicia. I'm sorry, Felicia and Fido. Felicia says, I never get what I want. Fido says, what do you want? Felicia says, I don't know. Then how do you know you don't have it? Because I don't have it. Sounds rather vaudevillian, doesn't it? Like Abbott and Costello bit. I'm waiting for some news. Good or bad news? I don't know yet. Then how will you know when it gets here? I won't be waiting for it anymore. I don't think I'm using any of those. This one I did use though, because I see the check mark. You seem so certain. Of course, I'm never wrong. I mean, if I'm wrong about this, what else could I be wrong about? Everything. Oh, don't be silly. I'm a cat. And I use this one too. Felicia says, I don't argue with the stupid. I just nod and say yeah. And Fido says, Don't you ever just want to tell someone off? And Felicia, nodding, says, yeah. All right, and I think I used this one too, so I don't have a check on it, but there's a check. There's a broken window, and Fido says to Bo, Felicia broke the window, and Bo says, Felicia made that golf club shaped hole in the glass? Yes. And Fido continues, listen, seriously, you can't punish a cat, so I'm saving you the effort. Okay. Where are you going? To get my golf club in the yard. Golf club size hole in the glass, yes. Felicia and Fido and Dino. Fido says, you're really not going to eat that, are you? Dino says, why? What did you do to it? Nothing. Snicker, snicker, snicker. And Felicia's laughing. And Dino says, ugh, and pushes the food away. And Fido and Felicia are eating the food, saying, I told you he wasn't going to eat it. I don't think I'll use that one. Fido and Felicia. Felicia says, how do I look? Fido says, horrible. Probably should say, like a cat, but horrible. Felicia says, let's try that again. Remember that I'm only interested in hearing you tell me what I want to hear. Yeah, that one needs a bit more work. I want you inside after dark. You are limiting my liberty? Your rules are an anathema to a free society, and if the American educational system was what it should be, you would know that. Also, you would know what anathema meant. Fido and Felicia playing chess. Fido says, it's your move, you're going to lose your queen. Felicia brushes the pieces off the table onto the floor. Fido says, yeah, like I didn't see that coming. And Felicia, lying on the board, says, there's just one queen on this board. The cats would push things off countertops and then lay on them. Fido and Felicia again. Felicia says, can I tell you a secret? Fido says, I guess. Now promise not to tell anyone. Sure. And she whispers the secret. Now don't tell anyone. I don't even want to know this. Yeah, might need work. All right, this one, you'll have to see the concept. In the first panel, Felicia says, I'm angry today. Nobody better get in my way. And she's sitting quietly on the couch. There's no one around, and she looks down the hallway, no one around, looks around the house, no one around, and they're lucky nobody's home. We'll do one of her just searching the house throughout the... Yeah, that one I might use. Bo eating snacks with Fido. Here, Felicia, have one. I don't think so. Just take it. Stop being so suspicious. And the cat goes off. She's getting so that she doesn't trust anybody. And Fido says, yeah, make a good human. Every dog has his day, Felicia says. That's not fair. What do cats get? 9 lives. 9? Wow, okay. You may take your day and go. All right. Fido says, I think you're wrong. Felicia says, perhaps we can... No, sorry. Felicia says, I think you're wrong. And Fido says, perhaps we can agree to disagree. No, we could agree to the fact that you're wrong. But I'm not wrong. Then we'll agree that you're delusional. Whatever. I don't want to fight over this. And Felicia's, well, Fido's walked off. We can also agree that you're a pussy, that you're the pussy around here. Can a cat say the word pussy? I suppose, just like members of certain races can use certain words. Yeah, sure. I can call myself a cracker. There's no problem there, right? All right, Fido and Felicia walking together, and it says, there's no doubt our ancestors had it tougher. That they were out there in the wild, having a hunt for their food. And Felicia says, of course, we put up with things that they wouldn't have at the dinner table. Okay, who wants more asparagus? And Felicia says, is it too late to go feral again? Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. How much of that can you see? It's the crazy cat lady. I've never met such a strong, independent woman. That's gonna do some more writing. This one up here. No, you're not a good dog. You're not a good dog because you don't work at it. If you're gonna be a good dog, you have to work at it and work at it. Fido says, nah, it's too much work. Oh, I think that's about all of them. Let's see, do we have fire? Oh, yes, we do have fire. Okay, everybody at home, smoke them if you got them. Remember, if you're below the age of 18, you can be cool like a cartoonist too. Thank you for joining us for Fido number 102, the birthday episode. Hopefully we'll see you next week.